We are going to look at the assassination of MSANDO, the election official. MSANDO was a pawn in a game, in a chess game, in a political chess game. We had two political alignments. There was Jubilee on one side and NAS on the other side. The first theater of compact was at the selection of electoral or election commissioners. Each side wanted to place as many commissioners as possible. One day, Kenyans will agree with me that political parties should not play any part in the selection of commissioners. We have had cases where political parties assign themselves. Let's say the majority coalition appoints the majority commissioners and the minority appoints the minority commissioners. It has been argued, wrongly of course, that they will check each other. But I would wish to have neutral commissioners who are not aligned to any party. After the selection of commissioners, the next stage for warfare was strategic departments. And the strategic departments, one of the few strategic departments was the ICT. NASA wanted MSANDO to be strategically placed because he was holding brief for them. Jubilee wanted somebody else whose name we will not disclose because he's purely innocent and he was just a pawn like MSANDO. So you may not have noticed, but a few weeks before the general election, 2017 general election, there was an exchange where today I'm in charge of ICT and you are my deputy. Tomorrow it's vice versa. You find MSANDO is given a suspension letter, then he's reinstated, then the other officer is given a suspension letter, then they're reinstated. That power struggle in the ICT before the elections was very bad for our democracy. But in the end, MSANDO succeeded. He was the final person in the ICT up to the last minute. Of course, last minute of his life. Now, when MSANDO was there was worry that ICT, there was this thing they call hacking. Mimi ni mzee kidogo. There is the hacking, and MSANDO really went round all the TV stations saying that nobody will hack into the system. And he was asked, how sure are you? MSANDO made a fatal mistake. MSANDO made a mistake that costed his life. Imagine, on several national TV, he said that I have changed the password and I placed my fingerprint as the password. You will need to cut off my fingers to get the password. He did not know who was watching. I know he comes from an area where people say, but do I say? That is when the plan was made for him to be killed. The second and fatal mistake that he did was that when you are holding the pulse of the country in your finger, in your palm, the first thing you should do is look into your security. This issue of going to Koinange Street at night alone is really bad. In fact, I would advise anybody watching this and he's placed in a strategic place, especially a strategic place of a temporary nature. Temporary in that once the president has been sworn in, the IEBC literally relaxes or goes on leave. Why don't you now go drinking at night and doing all those things? That is his second mistake. Lastly, concerning the girl whom he was killed with, she was innocent and she was in the wrong place at the wrong time. This is because when her sister, who knew of the affairs between her and MSANDO, heard that MSANDO's body has been found dead, she tried to call her sister, but the phone was off. The sister was killed simply because she witnessed the murder. And it also places the two families in a precarious situation. Let me start with the widow. She has lived for so many years from that time, imagining that her husband was cheating on her. Imagine the parents of that girl. Of course, the sister knew about her movements. We are all parents, we know that. And we also were young ones. But this issue of, we will all die. One day we will all die. But when you die, remember, try not to die in a way that you create an embarrassing picture or situation to your loved one. Thank you.